morning. This is African Free Press Television, where we report Africa from a refreshing perspective. I am Leo Oketa, and these are the stories we're bringing you from our news desk. The Supreme Court of Nigeria has affirmed that Governors Abiola Ajimobi of Oyo, Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta, and Ibrahim Keidam of Yobe State can now concentrate fully on governance, as they were all validly elected as chief executives of their various states on Tuesday. The Supreme Court, which is the highest in Nigeria, dismissed the petition filed against the election of Governor Ajimobi by Alhaji Rashid Ladoja, a former governor of the state and Accord Party governorship candidate in the 2015 gubernatorial election. The court dismissed the petition for lack of merit. Ladoja had earlier lost an attempt to overturn Ajimobi's victory in the 2015 gubernatorial election at the Election Petition Tribunal and at the Appeal Court. The justices of the Supreme Court, in a unanimous decision, also dismissed the appeal against the elections of Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. The Apex Court described the appeal by Emeho Ortega of the All Progressive Congress and Great Oboru of Labour Party against Governor Okowa's election as an abuse of court process. And similarly, the court affirmed the election of Governor Keidam of Yobe State. The justices stated they would give the reasons for the three judgments on February the 15th. Similarly, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC has released a timetable for senatorial and House of Representatives rerun elections across the country, barring fresh candidates from participating in the contest. INEC, in a release by the Secretary, Mrs. Augusta Ogaku, fixed February and March for the elections, even as it disqualified some candidates from partaking in the exercise. It said only candidates and parties that partook in the March 28, 2015 National Assembly and presidential elections would be eligible for the rerun election. In Anambra, APC was said to be only eligible to participate in the poll if Dr. Chris Ngige, currently Minister of Labour and Employment, who contested the March 28, 2015 poll, would resign and contest again. In Abia, the Commission disqualified the candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, Mr. David Oba Onuoha. It also cleared the candidate of Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, Dr. Oji Uzokalo. And the Nigerian government is proposing to spend more on capital projects at the State House Medical Center for the year 2016 than it would provide for the 16 teaching hospitals belonging to it. If the proposed budget is approved as presented to federal lawmakers, the State House Clinic would get 787 million naira more in capital allocation than all the 16 teaching hospitals combined. The State House Medical Center is a facility that provides health care for President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, their families and other employees of the presidency, all possibly less than 1,000. While federal teaching hospitals cater for the health needs of millions of Nigerians, trained medical doctors and other health professionals for the nation, while also serving as top medical research centers, millions of Nigerians, many of them poor voters who brought into the president's message of change, had to continue to make do with decaying facilities in underfunded teaching hospitals and other government-owned health facilities across the country. A health industry expert and official at the National Hospital Abuja, who requested not to be named for fear of being victimized by the administration, told newsmen that the annual huge capital allocation to the State House Medical Center was outrageous and baffling. A breakdown of the 2016 appropriation bill shows that a total of 3.87 billion naira has been allocated for capital projects at the state clinic. In contrast, the country's 16 federal government-owned teaching hospitals individually only got a fraction of the allocation made for the presidential clinic. And former Chief of Defense Staff Air Chief Marshal Alex Pade, retired, has put arrangements in place to honor the invitation extended to him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The invitation was in furtherance of the ongoing investigations into arms procurement in the armed forces. The former CDS will be visiting the EFCC this Wednesday, 3rd of February, from his house where he has been since he left office, to explain certain activities that were alleged to have taken place in the armed forces under his watch as a coordinating officer for all the arms of the armed forces. There was confusion in Benin City, the Edo State capital, on Tuesday as an explosion destroyed about 5 houses in Sapumba area of Benin City. Residents of Zomi Street in Upper Sapumba Road ran for safety when they heard the loud noise that came with the explosion at about 3 p.m. as many claimed that Boko Haram insurgents had invaded the city. A police source at the scene informed journalists that the bungalow where the bomb detonated was being used as a hideout for kidnappers some months ago, but a combined unit of soldiers and police invaded the place and arrested the suspects. A new occupant of the building, who was said to refuse on fire and unaware that the kidnappers who once used the house and left some bombs behind, was said to have caused the bomb explosion. The only casualty, a woman who sustained deep cuts, was taken to hospital for treatment. And meanwhile, bomb disposal experts from the Edo State Police Command have cordoned off the building, trying to ascertain if more bombs were still inside. And the former Nigerian Minister of Petroleum Resources, Mrs. Desiani Alison Madueke, has dismissed rumors that her sister has kids for former President Goodluck Jonathan. This came against the backdrop of stories making the rounds about her relationship with the former president, which never went down well with former First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan. She strongly noted that she had no such sister. Mrs. Madueke said this in London while responding to questions in an interview with the CEO of Ovation magazine, Mr. Dele Momodu. While wondering how people could fabricate such blatant lies, she reiterated she has a good relationship with the former First Lady, noting that they had been family friends for a long time. And now on the foreign scene, top US health authorities have confirmed that the Zika virus has been transmitted sexually, fueling fears of the rapid spread of the disease, laying for a surge in the number of brain damaged babies, with concern growing that an outbreak sweeping Latin America could spread much further. Health authorities in Texas said they had confirmation of the virus being transmitted by sexual contact and not just tropical mosquitoes. This is a troubling prospect for the United States, Canada, and Europe, where Zika had so far only appeared in travelers returning from affected areas. And these are the stories we're tracking for you coming from African Free Press Television. For more, please do log on to our website at www.africanfreepress.com. Follow us on Twitter at African Free Press. Like our Facebook page at africanfreepress.com. Join us in our discussions of various interesting topics at African Free Press Forum, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at African Free Press. My name is Leo Okeba. Do enjoy the rest of your day.